What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rollin with the Homies. This is episode 7. Your host, Chris Holdsworth, and this is my first time doing a solo podcast. Cody is not in studio. He's not on the episode today. He had some business to attend to, and I thought, we're not going to skip another week. We skipped, an episode beforehand. I want to stay consistent for you guys and girls. I want to keep these podcasts rolling, because that's what we do. This is Rolling with the Homies. We want to keep these conversations going, let you guys know what's going on in our lives, talk about some hot topics in the MMA scene and just in the world in general. And the first thing I want to talk about, let's talk about the last weekend's fights. We had some huge championship fights. The Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington rematch. Great rematch, but I felt like Colby Covington took his time to kind of start putting on the pressure that he did in that first fight. I think he was a little conserving a little bit. And then once he started turning it on and knew that, hey, if I don't turn this on and start pressing the pace, then I'm going to lose this fight. And he started to do better in those later rounds. But I think Kamaru Usman was just already, a step ahead and just kept him at bay with his reach and his jab and, pretty much stopped all his takedowns. I think Kobe got in on one. And if you want to call it, it would have been probably 2 points in a collegiate match. But Kamaru just jumped right back to his feet and, bounced off and kept fighting. So, great fight. I don't see anybody beating Kamaru for a while. Like, I don't see anybody in the 170-pound division. Nobody at the top of my head that's going to be close. Kobe's got the wrestling, but his wrestling pretty much got shut down. And, Usman working with Trevor Whitman, his striking is just getting better and better every fight. You can see his jab and just his cross. He was able just to get the angles and keep his head, moving and not take, a lot of big shots. So, Trevor Whitman, I say this time and time again, he's one of my favorite coaches, and he's a role model and a guy I look up to. Every time I see him, he's got a huge smile on his face. He's very personable and friendly and a great coach and a guy who's the proof is in the pudding. As you can see, he had 3 fighters that night, all 3 at the top of the event, meaning the main event, co-main event. And then I think the other one was like, Gaethje actually opened up the pay-per-view, but besides the fact, the 3 biggest fights on the card. And let's talk about that Gaethje fight, man. Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. That was probably the most entertaining fight of the night, in my opinion. They went back to back, and it looked like Gaethje was just able to, land that calf kick over and over again, that lead leg kick. He kept landing it, and it was hurting Chandler. Chandler landed some good shots, but Gaethje being the tough dude he is, and just being able to keep coming, get punched and keep coming, and land his powerful shots. He wore Chandler down. Chandler started getting he got gassed a little bit, and Justin just kept landing the shots and just was piecing him up. A couple times I thought Chandler was finished, but the tough dude Chandler is, he stayed in there. And you see, like, Henry Hoof, Chandler's corner man, was like, man, you don't have to prove your ego. You don't have to go out there and try to, knock him out every punch. And that's what he was trying to do. Like, he just tried to get into that type of fight. And Gaethje, that's the type of fighter Gaethje is. He wants that type of fight. He wants to brawl. I think he really, succeeds or does really well when he brawls people, and he just comes out on top, and he's just a badass fighter. So I think Gaethje's probably going to be next in line for the belt. There's a couple guys that are maybe up there, but Gaethje just keeps beating the best guys, and he's demanding that title shot, and he's got a huge fan base. So I think he'll be up there once Poirier and that next fight gets settled out. And let's talk about Thug Rose and her rematch versus Wang Zhili. Great fight. Wang came out hard those first few rounds. And I thought Rose, I was like, man, Rose needs to adjust. Even though she was landing her shots, I was like, either Wei Ling is going to continue this onslaught, or she's going to gas out, and Rose is going to start picking her apart. Because Rose always kept it really competitive the whole fight. But I feel those first couple rounds, Zhang did a good job of getting some takedowns, putting her in positions, and just being a little bit more aggressive than Rose. But in those later rounds, Wei Ling looked like she started to die down a little bit. And then Rose, being the champ she is, got those takedowns, got on top. Wei Ling couldn't get up, and she got that riding time and landed the crisper shots later in the rounds, and retained her belt. So going back to why I was talking about Trevor Whitman, he went 3-0 that night. One of my favorite coaches out there, and any of you MMA nerds out there need to go check him out and see what he's doing. But on top of that, moving on, I've been super busy. I got 3 guys fighting coming up. As you know, Cody's fighting on December 11th. Josh Emmett is fighting on the same night. And then we have Darren Elkins, my boy, fighting a week later. So on top of all the classes and private lessons I've been doing, I've been super busy with all the guys, getting ready, getting them ready and helping them get ready for their fights coming up. So seems like I've just been in the gym all day, but I wouldn't want it any other way. It's like it beats working a desk job, right? But this is what I love to do, and I'm very fortunate, to be working with these high level fighters and just to be able to help out. And if I can just help a little bit and help them succeed, or show them something that can change their game, or help with their technique, that's what makes me feel good. And that's kind of what my life has been, these last few years, just teaching since I stopped fighting, and it's all about just giving back and helping people now. So I've been super busy, but it's good. We got 2 fights the same night, so I'm looking forward to that. Cody will be on the main card, and then Josh, I think, he'll probably be somewhere higher up in the prelims. But it's interesting because if you guys don't know, the UFC has everything kind of so secluded now with all the COVID testing and all that. They have certain fighters come at a certain time, and then you leave right after, and then other fighters come on a bus. So, I'll probably be back there. You get there, whoever's fighting earlier, you get there and you just kind of hang out instead of leaving back to the hotel, because I'll have Cody up later in the night. So, funny story, back when we had that Sacramento card, I cornered 4 people that night. That's my record. 4 people in one night. That was crazy. I don't want to ever do that again. That was like way too much leading up to the fight, way too much the night of the fight. Definitely lost my voice. But this is what we do, man. This is what we do. So I'm excited to have all these guys fighting up. It feels like shit, man. It feels like a couple months. These guys haven't fought, so it always feels good to keep going out there and helping these guys with these UFC fights coming up. Besides that, I wanted to talk a little bit. If you guys follow me on Instagram or social media, you see I've been posting a lot about the stock market, cryptocurrency, and all this stuff. And I just kind of want to talk a little bit about that. I never want to seem like I'm trying to flex or anything. Like if I post gains, or if I post my portfolio or whatever like that, I'm not trying to flex on anybody. I'm trying to motivate and show everybody that follows me that if you put the time and if you put the research and if you do your homework, then you can be successful in the stock market. You can be successful in cryptocurrencies, and you can be successful in anything you put your mind to. And if you put enough time and effort into something, you can accomplish that. And my whole life I've had that kind of mindset, and anything I have put my mind to, I have done well. I nerd out on it. I geek out on it. I feel like I have the personality when I really like something, or if I want to learn something, I just dive straight in. I did it with jiu-jitsu. I did it with MMA. I did it with everything else. Everything else that I'm into. I want to get as good as I can get. And I want to learn from the best people. So with this whole financial stuff going on, like I never learned. No one ever taught me how to pay taxes, or how to save money, or how to budget. I had to learn all that stuff on my own. My parents didn't really, teach me any of that stuff. She taught me how to get a bank account, but that's about it. So when I started making money, like especially like when I made, the money from the Ultimate Fighter and all that stuff, like I had like 90K in the bank and I had no idea what to do with it. Like I was just like looking back at it now, like I would have turned that 90K, I would have doubled it for sure. I would have bought a house. I would have bought some sort of money producing asset where I can make money off of that money. But me being 25, 26 years old, I didn't know what to do with 90 G's. Imagine you have 90 G's in your bank account, you just won the Ultimate Fighter. I'm just like, all right. So I rented this like little apartment for $700. I kept my Honda Civic. I was like, I'm just gonna save. And I remember when I got that apartment, the lady she wanted to see like my bank account, and she saw it, and she's like, "What are you doing like renting an apartment? You should be like buying a house." But still, I had no idea. No one taught me. No one taught me anything. Like I didn't know. So comes to find out, like I pretty much stopped fighting around that time because I was dealing with the concussions and dealing with all that stuff. So I had to sit on that money, and me not knowing how to invest it or how to save it. Taxes come around and there's 25, 30,000. Me just living off that money because like I didn't know if I was gonna fight in 6 months, if a year. I was trying to wait to all the post concussion symptoms die down, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll be 6 months, maybe it'll be 2 months, and I kept having like these these rehabs and all this stuff, getting back into training too soon, and it just prolonged to where I never felt like I was 100% again, and I had to make the decision to stop fighting. But at that same time, that's 6 years or going back, like of not knowing how to spend that money or not knowing how to save it. So that money went by quick. Like looking back, like that money went by quick. So I had to start teaching. I always taught jiu-jitsu and stuff, but I had to really step it up. I was like, man, I don't want to get a real job. Like if I'm not going to fight, I spent all this time trying to get good at fighting. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for so long. That's how I was making money before I started fighting, was teaching jiu-jitsu. So I always felt like I was a pretty good teacher. So I was like, all right, got to start teaching classes again. And thankfully Uriah and everyone let me start teaching classes, and that turned into years later where I'm still teaching classes, running the jiu-jitsu program, helping out with the pro program, and cornering these top level UFC fighters. But what I know now, I wish I knew when I had all that money. And that's the whole reason why I brought this up, is because I'm trying to just help and show everybody that like there's a way to invest your money. There's a way to do it the smart way. Like I don't have a savings account anymore, and for one, this is not financial advice at all. This is just what I do and what's helped me from all the research, from all the people I talk to. But I don't have a savings account anymore. My savings account is, it's in the stock market. I have stocks. I have assets. I have, I'm invested in cryptocurrency, and that's where all my money sits, because that's going to compound and gain interest way faster than a savings account. Like, not trying to brag, but since I started studying and really learning the stock market and cryptocurrency, back in the beginning of this year, like March, I remember that's when I made my first Coinbase account, and I made a couple other accounts like for crypto, and all those accounts are at least 10x now. I think I gained in my Robinhood account. I've had my Robinhood account for a few years, but I didn't know what I was doing. I bought Ethereum and Litecoin a few years ago for like 30 or 40 bucks, and I had no idea. It went up a bit, and I sold it. I kept my Litecoin though, because I was just like, I'm just going to keep 20 Litecoin, but I sold my Ethereum. I sold some Litecoin. If I would have held that, I would be pretty well off right now. But me not knowing and doing the research, I was just wanting easy handouts. I just wanted people to, give me all the plays, tell me what to do, show me how to use all these apps and how to trade. But your friends and the people that you see doing it are only going to help you so much. And I learned that the hard way, because they'll give you a little bit of a piece, and then they just either will stop talking to you, stop texting you, and be like, dude, you gotta figure this out on your own. And it's crazy because like I'm kind of seeing that now with like me making posts and telling people about stuff on social media. People are hitting me up like, tell me what to do, and I'm like, God, as much as I want to help you, like you have to go learn this on your own. Like I can give you maybe a little tips on like where to go and how to sign up for a brokerage, but I'm not gonna hand feed you anything. Like I got like good friends like telling me that like, dude, you got to go do the research on your own. And thankfully, like I know how to learn and I know how to apply, like my jujitsu, my black belt mindset to where like I can learn anything I put my mind to. Cool thing about nowadays, the information age, everything is online. So you can learn so much from YouTube, Instagram, like TikTok is like a bunch of how-to videos, and you can always ask Google and search whatever you want. So that's what I've been doing this past year. I've been really focused on my financial game. No one wants to live check to check. I've never worked a serious job. Like I don't have rich parents. I don't have a 401k. So I have to do all my retirement stuff. I have to do all that myself. I have to become financial. I have to become smart in the financial department, or else I'm gonna get left behind. And when I'm old, I'm gonna be decrepit and probably needing some assistance from all the jiu-jitsu and martial arts over the years. And if you don't have any money when you're old, you're gonna be screwed. So one thing I suggest, do as much research. If this interests you, you guys should definitely get like a basic brokerage account. I started off with Robinhood just because it's really user friendly, and just play around, buy a penny stock or buy a stock that's $2 or $3, buy one, and then just kind of see how it moves, see where the how the graph moves, see where the 52-week high is and the 52-week low. Okay, because you never want to buy when it's at the 52-week high. Like if a stock or a crypto is at its highest point or it's hitting all-time highs, that's not when you want to buy. That's called FOMO, fear of missing out. People see something rising like, oh, damn, I got to get in. And then boom, it's just like a falling knife. Or the way cryptocurrency is, it's so volatile. Volatile meaning the movement between price can happen very quickly. That's what volatility means. So in crypto, you can, something can be $1, it can shoot up to $3, it can shoot up to $10, but then it can shoot back down to $1 in a day. So that's the crazy thing about crypto. The volatility, you have to be very careful and be willing to lose anything you put in. Okay, and again, this is not financial advice. But I became good friends with a couple people that would give me a couple plays, and then they would be like, "Hey, Chris, you gotta go learn candle chart patterns. You gotta go learn how to read graphs and how to use indicators to read the candlestick patterns, and learn how to use a MACD and a RSI and a Fibonacci retracement line." I was blown away. You talk about Bollinger Bands and volume and intrinsic value. It's a lot to learn. But, when I started to make a little bit of money, like when I made that money off of Litecoin, I was hooked. And that's what really started to get me interested on learning more, because I wanted to take control of my financial freedom. And, I'm not going to say I want to retire early, but I want to be financial free. I don't want to work my whole life for the man. I don't want to work for somebody my whole life. I want to work for myself. And if I can have financial freedom and control my time, that's what's most important to me. So a couple hints, just play around, read and watch as many YouTube how-to videos. This podcast can be long. I can keep talking about all this stuff if I wanted to, but I'm going to give you guys a couple more hints. So when I was talking about the 52-week high and the 52-week low, never want to buy at the 52-week high. I made that mistake in the beginning. I was like, oh, I got some money. I'm going to buy all these stocks. I'm going to diversify, meaning I want to spread out and not have everything just in one thing. So I started to spread out, but I did no research on the stocks. I did no due diligence in all my homework. So I basically bought all this stuff at the high, not knowing any better, and lost money on at least 5 or 6 stocks that I didn't do my homework on. So that was a great learning lesson for me. And from that, now, like, just from that 6 month period, I've learned so much and I've progressed so much. And all my accounts are at the all-time high right now. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that to show you guys that it's possible. And I'm manifesting financial freedom. Like, I'm saying it now. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be a crypto millionaire. I wasn't able to become a millionaire in the fight business, but I'm gonna become a millionaire in either the crypto world, in the stock market, or maybe just combined with anything in entrepreneurship, the media game podcast, whatever it is. Like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm manifesting it now, and I'm not an all about money type of guy, but I do want financial freedom, and I think everybody out there listening to this or watching this would like financial freedom too. So do your homework, buy a couple stocks first just to play around. Look into blue chip, real good companies, Apple, Microsoft, all Google, all the big companies that are just continuing to grow, especially all the companies that are involved in the metaverse right now, that everything that's going to be gaming, VR, virtual reality. Sad to say, but that's kind of the way we're going. Now that Facebook just changed their name to Metaverse, Metaverse is pretty much like the virtual reality world. And it's taken off right now. And I think if you don't hop in now, you're going to regret it 3 to 5 years from now. All the tokens and for all this gameplay and all these VR virtual land places. Do your research, guys. Look into all the metaverse companies. A lot of them are starting to take off. They had a big push after this, Facebook meta name change, and I think they're just going to continue to climb and continue to become, in higher value. So don't miss out on that. But I'm gonna read just if anybody doesn't know, I'm just gonna read you guys what like cryptocurrency or what the blockchain means. So cryptocurrency is a form of payment that can be exchanged online for goods or services. Many companies have issued their own currencies, often called tokens, and these can be traded specifically for a good or service that the company provides. So basically, you have your fiat currency, which is like the US dollar. This is a cryptocurrency. This is completely decentralized. The government does not control cryptocurrency. And I think this is a big part why people are so attracted to cryptocurrencies, because it's not controlled by the government. It's decentralized, and it's very safe as far as it's not hackable because of this thing called the blockchain. The blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. Now, I know that sounds pretty complicated, but it's the way things are going. Like, the internet is taken over these past 5 to 10 years. Don't miss out on all this hype now, because the people who invested in the internet and all the IPO and the .com era are rich right now. And I think this is kind of like the same thing. This whole crypto, the digital, the VR, the metaverse we're on that way. If you look at it, all the kids are on iPads nowadays. They're playing games. They're playing Fortnite. They're playing Xbox. Everybody's on their phone. They're on their iPad. It's gonna get to the point where it's just gonna. I'm interested. The movies have already said it, and already told it. Like, there's movies that pretty much like predicted, and things are happening now. Um, and with inflation, being at the highest it's been in 31 years, the U.S. dollar is just, becoming more and more just inflated, and people are putting their money into cryptocurrency because that's just going up, and the value that they're saving themselves from losing a ton of money with inflation. So, bunch of stuff you guys need to research and do your homework on. I believe in crypto. I believe in investing in yourself and learning things that can make you money. And everyone's like all into the meme stocks or the meme coins like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. I don't really suggest going into things like that. You can get lucky and you can get rich off of it. But at the same time, you're risking a lot of money, because something like that has no utility, doesn't have something that it's going to be used for. It's just a meme stock, so it got popular off of forums or Reddit forums. Yeah, there's going to be a big squeeze, and a lot of people are going to make money, but then people are going to jump in because of FOMO, and then a lot of people are going to lose money when it just tanks. So be careful with all the meme stocks. I would suggest reading all the white papers. If you guys are going to invest in cryptocurrency, try to read all the white papers on the actual cryptocurrency or the token. See what the company is about. See if it makes sense to you, and if it's something you want to get behind. Just don't get behind something because of hype. Do your research. Look at where the 52-week highs have been, where the 52-week lows. Try to get it when it's not at its highest. Try to get it like right in between, or if it's at its lowest, that means it's at its discount. Okay, or it's at a discount. Anytime something's like super low, make sure you guys have some buying power. Make sure you have some money to buy this stuff when it dips. A dip meaning when it drops low. So, I can keep going on and on, but I don't want to overcomplicate things. That was kind of just a little teaser. I want to have some guests on here like Josh Emmett. He's really into the crypto world, and let's not even talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And if you guys are not on NFTs yet, you guys need to hop on. Those are like a digital asset on the blockchain. So this is gonna go way out, and I'm still doing my homework on this. And by no means I'm like a expert on any of this. I probably sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've been researching every day, and I'm just trying to help people or motivate you to do your own research and try to make some money off your own money. Like, why not invest in learning something that can make you money? If you do it the smart way, don't do it the dumb way and just ask your friends for advice. You gotta do your own research. You got to. I've been doing my own research for 8 months and I still don't know everything. I feel like I'm just like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu terms. I'm not a white belt anymore in the stock crypto game. I'm like a blue belt, going for that purple belt. So, hopefully that helped you out just a little bit, and, maybe motivated you to, get a app, a brokerage, if that's going to be Webull, if that's going to be Robinhood, if that's going to be Coinbase, whatever it is, and just buy a couple tokens or a couple shares of something and just kind of play around and, have fun with it. Don't spend a lot of money off the bat until you understand the whole app and how it works. And they got tons of YouTube videos on that stuff. But, for the most part, have fun with it. And if you guys have any questions, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Holdsworth MMA. But make sure you guys have done your homework first before you hit me up. Don't hit me up with any dumb questions you guys can find out on YouTube. Because, I'm keeping it real with you. I'm busy. Right now. I got classes all day. I got private sessions all day. I'm trying to train myself. I'm trying to study myself. And, I want to help you guys as much as I can. But at the same time, do your due diligence first. And, if you really don't understand something, I'll try to help you out as best as I can. And then another thing about the crypto world, it's all about networking. So, guys, if you guys are into it, let's network, let's talk on social media. I've been trying to get Cody involved in this world for a while now. But, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on. So he needs to put in the time to study just like everybody else. I can hand him some plays, but then I'm going to feel bad because if he loses money because he didn't know how to exit on the right time or because it was going down, I'm going to feel bad because, I told him to go for that. So never just expect a handout. Always do your due diligence and learn how to enter and exit out of trades. Risk management is key. Don't put in what you're not willing to lose, and understand that when things are going down, you can either just hold and just wait it out because you only lose money when you sell and you can ride the wave, or you can get scared and sell like a lot of people do. I've been holding. I'm a holder, but everyone's style is different. All right, we got a couple questions from the listeners. Let's see what we got here. All right, first question. What's your favorite striking combination? This is going to sound really basic, but it's the two-piece and a biscuit, which is the double jab cross. It's one of my favorite striking combinations. It always has been. You can change levels with the jabs. You can change levels with the cross. You can change the angles with the cross. Looping crosses, uppercuts, overhand, straight crosses. I'm a big fan of just leading with the jab, double jab, and then finishing with some sort of cross. And that's my favorite combo. All right, next question. Where did I grow up? I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, which is part of LA County, Southern California. The 818, if you want to get technical, Van Nuys, California, Woodland Hills, North Hollywood. It's all like in that little San Fernando Valley area, a suburb of LA. Do you play video games, or do you play now, or have you played in the past? I do not play video games. If I do, like the only gaming system I have or that I play now is the Nintendo Switch, and I really only play it if people come over the house and they want to get smacked up in Mario Kart or Super Smash Brothers. But I don't play just like when I'm at home or if I'm bored. I try to learn about stocks or cryptocurrencies and ways I can make money. All right, next question. Who's the best new blood out of TAM? That's a hard one. There's always a lot of new guys. I think Alan, he's a Brazilian guy. He's one of the top up-and-comers coming up. I think he's going to be in the UFC pretty soon. Amar, he's one of the top guys. He came out of Rufus Sport. He's got good jiu-jitsu, good striking all around. So we got Amar, we got Isaac, another youngster. He's like 18. So all these guys are coming up. They're doing really well, and I think they're going to do big things. All right, guys, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hopefully, you like this little solo podcast. If Cody's not able to make it, if I'm not able to make it, one of us is going to try to get in here, either do a solo or a guest podcast. I'm going to start asking guests to come on, ask them about their stories, what they can do, what kind of value they can provide you guys, teach you guys something. And we're just going to keep this show rolling. All right, shout out to all the homies out there. Episode 7. See you next time.